Good afternoon, and welcome to the fourth instalment of a dramatic reading of My Immortal, the Harry Potter fan fiction. My name is James Locke, and if you're joining us for the first time, or second time, or third time, or indeed fourth time, I must reiterate these words are not my own. This is a fan fiction penned sometime in 2006. This is your trigger warning. There will be triggers. Viewer discretion is advised, and the content is unsuitable for children. This is My Immortal. Thank you. We left off with the introduction of Tom Ridd in one of the Gothic shops, and it would appear as though Raven and our author may have had something of a falling out, as the author's notes may give some indication to. Anyway, we left off at the end of chapter 16. Chapter 17. Author's note. I said stup flaming de stereo. If you're a prep, then do not read it. You can tell whether you're a prep or not by my quiz. It's on my homepage. If you're not, then you rock. If you are, then fuck of. Bzz, Willow isn't really a prep. Raven, pulls do this. I'll promise to give you back your poster. XXXXXXXX 666 XXX. Tom Riddle gave us some clothes and stuff for free. He said he would help us with makeup if he wanted, 'cause he was really into fashion and stuff. He's bisexual. Hargard kept shooting at us to come back to Hogwarts. WTF, Hargrid? I shouted angrily. Fuck off, you fjucking bastard. Well, anyway, Willow came. Hargard went away angrily. Hey, bitch, you look kawaii, she said. Yeah, but not as kawaii as you, I answered sadly, 'cause Willow's really pretty and everything. She was wearing a short black corset thingy with blood-red lace on it and a black blood-red miniskirt, leather fishnets, and black pointy boots that showed off how pale she was. She had a really nice body with big bobs and everything. She was thin enough to be anorexic. So are you going to that concert with Draco? She asked. Yeah, I said happily. I'm gone with Diabolo, she answered happily. Well, anyway, Draco and Diabolo came. They were both looking extremely hot and sexy, and you could tell that they thought we were out too. Diabolo was wearing tons of makeup, just like Marilyn Manson. Draco was wearing black leather pants, a gothic black GC t-shirt, and black Vans he got from Da Warphead Tower. B. Ludi Mart was going to da concert with Dracola. Dracola used to be called Naval, but it tuned out that he was kidnapped at birth and his real family were vampires. They died in a car crash. Naval converted to Satanism and he went goth. He was in Slytherin now. He was wearing a black Warphead t-shirt, black jeans, and shoes and black hair with red streaks in it. We call him Dracula now. Well, anyway, we all went to Draco's black Mercedes-Benz, get it, 'cause we're thick, that his dad Lucian gave him. We did pot, coke, and crack. Draco and I made out. We made fun of those stupid fucking preps. We soon got there. I gasped. Gerard was the sexiest guy ever. He looked even sexier than he did in pics. He had long, raven black hair and piercing blue eyes. He was really skinny, and he had an amazing ethnic voice. We moshed to Helena and some odder songs. Suddenly, Gerard pulled off his mask. So did the other members. I gasped. It wasn't Gerard at all. It was an ugly, preppy man with no nose and red eyes. Everyone ran away but me and Draco. Draco and I came. It was Voldemort and the Death Dealers. You moronic idiots, he shouted angstily. Enderby, I told you to kill vampire. Thou have failed. And now I shall kill thou and Draco. No, no, please, we begged sadly, but he took out his knife. Suddenly, a gothic old man flew in on his broomstick. He had long black hair and a long black bread. He was wearing a black robe that said Avril Lavigne on the back. He shotted a spell and Voldemort ran away. It was Dumbledore. Chapter 18. Author's note. I said stop flamming. If you do, then you're a fucking prep. Thanks to Raven for all the help and stuff. You rock. You're not a prep. Thanks for much suitor. Pus the oude Essen Dumbledore swore is cause he trom to be gothic, so there. XXXXXXXXX 666 XXXXXXXXXX. I woke up the next day in my coffin. I walked out of it and put on some black eyeliner, black eyeshadow, blood bed lipstick, and a black, really low-cut leather dress that was all ripped and in stripes so you could see my belly. I was wearing a skull belly ring with black and red diamonds inside it. The night before Draco and I went back to the skull, get it? Skull, 'cause I'm gothic and I like death, Dumbledore chased Voldemort away. We flew there on our brooms. Mine was black, and the broom stuff was blood red. There was lace all over it. Draco had a black MCR boom. We went back to our rooms, and we had You Know What to a Linkin Park song. Well, anyway, I went down to the Great Hall. There, all the walls were painted black, and the tables were black too. But you fooled see that there was pink pant underneath the black pant. And there were pastors of poser bands everywhere, like Ashley Simpson and the Backstreet Boys. WTF, I shouted, going to sit next to B. Ludi Mary and Willow. B. Ludi Mary was wearing a black leather mini with a good Charlotte t-shirt, black fishnets, and black pointy boots. Willow was wearing a long gothic black dress with blood red writing that was all lacy and came up to your thighs, and black boots and fishnets. Vampire, Dracula, and Draco came. We started to talk about who was sexier, Mikey or Gerard Way or Billy Joe Armstrong. The boys joined in, 'cause they were bi. Those guys are so fucking hot, Navel was saying, as suddenly a gothic old man with a black beard and everything came. He was the same one who had chased away Voldemort yesterday. He had normal tan skin, but he was wearing white foundation and he had dyed his hair black. Dumbledore? We all gasped. WTF! I shouted angrily. I thought he was just wearing that to scare Voldemort. Hello, everyone, he said happily. As you can see, I gave the room a makeover. What do you think about it? Everyone from the poser table in Gryffindor started to cheer. Well, we Goths just looked at each other, all disgusted, and shook our heads. We couldn't believe what a poser he was. BTW, you can call me Albert. He called as we left to our classes. What a fucking poser, Draco shouted angrily as we went to transformation. We were holding hands. Vampire looked really jealous. I could see him crying blood in a gothic way. Get it? Way, like Gerard. But I didn't say anything. I bet he's having a midlife crisis, Willow shouted. I was so fucking angry. Chapter 19. I'm not okay, I promise. Author's note. Please stop flaming the story. If you do, you're a fucking prep. You're jealous, okay? From knock I'm gong to delt your men reviews. BTW envoyed a poor blood so there. Thanks to Raven from da help. 1-1. XXXXXXXXXXX 666 XXXXXXXX. All day we sat angrily thinking about Dumbledore. We were so fucking pissed off. Well, I had one thing to look forward to, the MCR concert. It had been postponed so we could all go. Anyway, I went to the common room sadly to cut classes. Draco was being all secretive. I asked what it was, and he got all mad at me and started crying all hot and angsty. Aren't sensitive bi guys so hot? No one fucking understands me! ! 1. He shouted angrily as his black hair went in his big blue eyes like Billy Joe in Boulevard of Borken Dreamers. He was wearing black baggy paints, a black MCR t-shirt, and a black dye. Get it? Instead of tie? 'Cause I'm gothic. I was wearing a black leather low-cut top with chains all over it, a black leather mini, black high-held boots, and a cross belly thing. My hair was all up in a messy, really high bun like Amy Lee in Gong Under. Email me if you want to see the pic. Accuse me? What about me? I growled. But, he grunted. You fucking bastard, I moaned. No, wait, it's not what it fucking looks like, he shouted. But it was too late. I knew what I heard. I ran to the bathroom angrily, crying. Draco banged on the door. I whipped and wept as my bloody eyeliner streamed down my cheeks and made cool tears down my feces like Benji in the video for girls and boys. Author's note. Raven, that is so our video. I took out a cigarette end, started to smoke pot. Suddenly, Hagrid came. He had appurated. You gave me a fucking shock, I shouted angrily, dropping my pot. What do you think you're doing in the girls' room? Only it wasn't just Hagrid. Someone else was with him too. For a second, I wanted it to be Tom Ridd, or maybe Draco. But it was Dumbledore. Hey, I need to ask you a question, he said, pulling out his black wannabe gothic purse. What are you wearing to the concert? You know who MCR are? I gasped. No, I just saw there was a concert that a lot of goths and punks were going to, he said. Anyway, Draco has a surprise for you. Chapter 20. Author's note. I said I'd not care what you think. Stop flamming, okay, preps! ! 1. Thanks to Raven for the help, 1. Oh yeah, BTW, I'll be on vacation in Transylvania for the next 3 days, so do not expect updates. XXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXXX All day I wondered what the surprise was. Meanwhile, I popped on a black leather mini, a black corset with purple lace stuff all over it, and black gothic compact boots. MCR were gone to the concert again, since Volksamort had taken over the last one. I slit my wrists while I moshed to MCR in my bedroom all night, feeling excited. Suddenly, someone knocked on the door while I was trying on some black clothes and moshing to Fang You for the Venom. I got all mad and turned it off, but sacredly, I hoped inside that it was Draco so we could do it again. "What the fucking hell are you doing?" I shouted angrily. "It was Lupin." "Are you going to come rape me or what?" I yelled. I was allowed to say that because Dumbledore had told us all to be careful around Hem and Snap since he was a pedo. "No, act Shelley. Get it? Hell. Can I please borrow some condoms?" he growled angrily. "Yeah, so you can fuck your 6-year-old girlfriend, huh?" I shouted sarcastically. "Fuka," he said, gong away. Well, anyway, I put on some black eyeshadow, black eyeliner, and some black lipstick and white foundation. Then I went. Then I gasped. Snake and Lupin were in the middle of the empty hall doing it, and Dobby was watching one. "Oh my God, you ludicrous idiot!" They both shouted angrily when they saw me. Dobby ran away crying. They got up, though. Normally, I would have been turned on. I love seeing guys do it, but both of them were fucking preps. BTW, Snake is moved to Gryffindor now. WTF, is that why you wanted condoms? I asked statistically. See, I spelled that. Only you wouldn't give them to me, Lumpkin shouted angrily. Well, you should have told me, I replied. You dimwit, Snake began to shoot angrily. And then I took out my black camera and took a pic of them. You could see that they were naked and everything. Well, excuse me, they both shouted angrily. What was that all about? It was to blackmail you, I snarked. So now, next time you see me doing it with my boyfriend, you can't fucking rat me out or I'll show this to Dumbledore. So fuck off, you bastards. I started to run. They chased me, but I threw my wound at them and they tripped over it. Well, anyway, I went outside and there was Vampire looking extremely fucking hot. WTF, where'd Draco? I asked him. Oh, he's being a fucking bastard. He told me he wouldn't come, Vampire said, shaking his head. You want to come with me? To the concert? Then he showed me his flying car. I gasped. It was a black car. He said his dogfather, Sirius Black, had given it to him. The license plate on the front said MCR 666 on it. The one on the back said Enderby on it. I gasped. We flew to the concert hall. MCR were there, playing. Vampire and I began to make out, moshing to the music. I gasped, looking at the band. I almost had an orgasm. Gerard was so fucking hot. He began to sing Helena, and his sexy, beautiful voice began to fill the hall. And then I heard some crying. I turned and saw Draco crying in a corner. Chapter 21. Author's note. Fuck you, okay? You fucking suck. It's not my fault if it's spelled wrong, okay? Cause that bitch Ravern, cause it's fuck you, preps. Whoops, soz Raven, thanks for the help. BTW, Transylvania rocks hard. I even got to go to the castle where Dracola was filmed. XXXXXXX 666 XXXXXXXX. Later, we all went in the skull. Draco was crying in the common room. Draco, are you okay? I asked in a gothic voice. No, I'm not, you fucking bitch, he shouted angrily. He stated to run out of the place in a suicidal way. I stated to cry because I was afraid he would commit suicide. It's okay, Ennaby, said Vampire comfortably. I'll make him feel better. You mean you'll go fuck him, won't you? I shouted angrily. Then I ran to get Draco. Vampire came too. Draco, please come, he began to cry. Tears of blood came down his pale face. I was so turned on because I love sensitive bi guys. Author's note, if you're a homophone, then fuck off. And then we heard some footsteps. Vampire got out his black invincibility coke. We both got under it. We saw the janitor, Mr. Norris, there, shouting angrily with a flashlight in his hand. Who's there? He shouted angrily. We saw Filth come. He went under the invisibility cloak and started to meow loudly. Is anyone there? Yelled Mr. Norris. No, fuck you, you preppy little poser son of a fucking bitch, Vampire said under his breast in a disgusted way. Excuse me, who said that? Yelled Mr. Norris. Then he heard Filch meow. Filth, is there anyone under the cloak? He asked. Filth nodded. And then Vampire Frenched me. He did it just as Mr. Norris was taking off the cloak one. What da? He yelled, but it was too late because now we were ruining away from him. And then we saw Draco crying and busting into tears and slitting his wrists outside of the school. Draco, I cried, are you okay? I guess, though, Draco wept. We went back to our coffins, Frenching each other. Draco and I decided to watch Lake Placid, see, isn't that the present, on the gothic red bed together. As I was about to put in the video, my eyes rolled up, and suddenly I had a vision of something that was happening now. There was a knock on the door, and Fug and the Mystery of Magic walked into the school. Chapter 22. Author's note. STFU. Perhaps stop flaming, okay? If you do not lick it, fuck off. I know it's Norris, it's Raven fault, okay? 1-1. You suck, 1. No, just kidding. Raven, you fucking rock. Preps suck, 1. XXXXXXXXXX. XXXXX666 XXXXXXXXX. All day, everyone talked about the misery of magic. Well, anyway, I woke up the next day. I was in my coffin, so I opened the door. I was wearing black, lacy leather pajamas. Then I gasped. Standing in front of me were Bloody Mary, Vampire, Diabolo, Draco, Dracula, and Willow. I opened my crimson eyes. Willow was wearing a tight black leather top with pictures of bloody roses all over it. Under that, she wore a black poofy skirt with lace on it and black gothic boots that was attached to the top. Vampire was wearing a baggy Simple Plan t-shirt and baggy black pants and Vans. Draco was wearing a black MCR t-shirt and black jeans and a leather jacket. He looked just like Gerard Way, and almost as fucking sexy. Vampire looked just like Joel Madden. Bloody Mary was wearing a tight black poofy gothic dress that she had ripped so it showed of all her clearage, with a white apron that said Bic and other swear words and MCR lyrics on it, kind of like one dress I had seen Amy Lee wear once. Darkness, who is Jenny, was there too. She was weaving a ripped gothic black dress with ripstuff all over it and a lace-up top thing and black pointy boots. So were Crab and Goyle. It turns out that Darkness, Diabolo, Crab and Goyle's dad, was a vampire. He committed suicide by slitting his wrists with a razor. He had raped them and stuff before too. So they got all so depressed that they became gothic and converted to Stanism. OMFG, I yielded as I jumped up. Why the fuck are you all here? Enderby, something is really fucked up, Draco said. Okay, but I need to put my fucking clothes on first, I shouted angrily. It's all right. We have to go now and you look kawaii anyway. You're so fucking beautiful, Draco said in a sexy voice. Oh, all right, I said, smiling. But you have to tell me why you're being all erective. I will, he said. So I just put on some black eyeliner, black lipstick and red eyeshadow and white foundation. Then I came. We all went outside the great hall and looked in from a window. A fucking prep called Brittany from Gryffindor was standing next to us. She was wearing a pink mini and a Hilary Duff t-shirt, so we put up our middle fingers at her. Inside the great hall, we could see Dumbledore. Cornelia Fudged was there shouting at Dumbledore. Doris Rumbridge was there too. This cannot be, she shouted angrily. The school must be closed. The Bark Lord is planning to kill the students, yelled Cornelia Fudge. You are not fit to be the principal any longer, yelled Rumbridge. You are too old and your Alzheimer's is dangerous. You must retry or Voldemort will kill your students. Very well, Dumbledore said angrily. But we cannot do this. We can't close the school. There is only one person who is capable of killing Voldemort, and she is in the school, and her name is... Enemy, Darkness, Dementia, Raven Way. Draco, Crab, Goyle, Darkness, Willow, Vampire, and Beeludi Mary looked at each other. I gasped. And that brings us to the end of chapter 22, which marks the halfway point for this dramatic reading of My Immortal. We shall leave it there for the time being and see how the story develops in the second half of this truly incredible fan fiction. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please tune in again tomorrow to see where the story takes us. Thanks again and stay safe.